Hello there, Kyle Katarn here, and it is Wednesday, my dudes. You know what that means? New Comic Day. This week we've got Dr. Aphra 17, Remastered Part 4, written by Simon Spurrier, inked by Emilio Lizo. Kieran Gillen was working on the Aphra series, but after having moved over to the main Star Wars line, Simon Spurrier is handling most of the issues moving forward. This issue was, lighthearted, wacky fun, which is very much in keeping with how the Aphra series has been so far. Some moments are almost too funny. It makes me feel like I'm reading an issue of Guardians of the Galaxy when Brian Michael Bendis was writing it, which would feel out of place if this was a story about Darth Vader or Boba Fett. But because it's Aphra, I feel like it kind of fits with her personality nicely, and it meshes pretty well with the greater Star Wars universe. So I don't particularly mind. I actually enjoy the humor. Okay, first of all, having a Rebel flight school inside of a burned out Lucrehulk starship from the Clone Wars, totally badass idea, and I love it. One of the best artwork moments for sure. Probably one of my favorite panels in the whole Aphra line so far. It was pretty cool getting a glimpse of Hera after Rebels, although somewhat bittersweet after the events of this last week's episode. She definitely seems different. She's a lot colder and more impatient now. She's hardened, and that's definitely attributed to all the things that she's been through, Pretty freaking impressive that she was controlling, 5 or 6 R5 units at once with that helmet out in the flight sim. The concept of the training facility itself is pretty cool. I think this would be a great opportunity for them to bring Wedge as a character back into the fold, because I know that Dennis Lawson said he's not interested in coming back into their movies, but this would be a way for us to get more canon Wedge content. He could be training pilots alongside Hera, So speaking of Tulvin for a second, she straight up skinned a dude and then wore him like a parka. What the fuck? That is next level intense. I mean, she's tenacious, she's begrudging, she's obviously got some sort of a skill set, and we know that she's the love interest for Aphra, but apparently she's also a psychopath. As for Kaysen Boggs storing several guns in his torso, come on. I mean, I know this is Star Wars, space lasers and fantasy and everything, but you really had to suspend disbelief for that one. Are you trying to tell me that this guy, who functions just fine without a head, also has a fucking empty torso with no guts in it? I mean, that's pretty off the wall. But then again, this is Aphra, so, they can play a little fast and loose with things that way, I suppose. The Dr. Aphra series does a really great job of tying it all together. Like going to Wat Tambor's Techno Union ship on Skako Minor, the Lucrehulk in this issue, that was the Rebel Flight School, sneaking into a Tarkin Initiative facility. Combining all these little snippets and moments from different forms of the media really helps make it feel like the Star Wars universe is one whole continuous thing. And as a Star Wars completist, I appreciate that. That was the only Star Wars comic to come out this week. Last week, however, we got the very first issue of Thrawn, the novelization of Timothy Zahn's canon Thrawn novel, which came out in 2017. So first and foremost, I love Timothy Zahn. I think he can do no wrong when it comes to his Star Wars literature. When the Thrawn novel dropped, I picked it up straight away. I love it. And so when this came out, I was really excited to see just how true to his book they were going to be, and how many artistic licenses they were going to take with the story. So far, it's followed the book really closely. The adaptation is being written by Jody Houser, and Luke Ross is doing the artwork, and it is on point. I'm also really loving the classic 9-panel frame layout. It's really working here. Just look at the choice of colors used for this forest scene in the beginning. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Cadet Eli Vanto is drawn pretty much exactly the way I visualized him reading the story, which is kind of hilarious. Kind of like a young Cassian Andor. The use of color on some of these Coruscant panels is just exquisite as well. Overall, this is a very good looking issue. It was a nice treat getting to see that memory of Clone Wars Anakin. I like the fact that we've got Stormtroopers wearing Phase 2 clone armor, just to show how close on the tail end of the Clone Wars this is taking place. And I'm pretty sure the interior of the Emperor's throne room in the Jedi Temple looks very similar to how it did in Legends. I think they kept it mostly the same, which is a really nice touch. To any fans of Star Wars Rebels that want to get to know Thrawn but haven't read Zahn's book, this is a great way to get an alternative, nuanced approach to one of the best villains on that show, so I would highly recommend picking this series up. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next week when we'll be talking about Darth Vader number 12 and Star Wars Adventures number 7. Check out the rest of my channel for more awesome Star Wars content. Leave me a comment if you've got a question or something to say, and as always, may the Force be with you.